Hello. Yesterday, after I made the video about connecting to the animal nature in us, my soul, or my guides, or my higher self, or all of it, gave me a little bit more information in my dream time, a deeper understanding, and I want to share it with you. I noticed when I researched some subject, overnight, my soul gives me more information. And same thing happened in my videos about demons, demon slayer. And the next day I did another video with a little bit more depth. You know how people say sleep on it? It really works. So this was a dream. I was hanging out with my friend Kelly. We were taking pictures. She was telling me some funny stories. So I have this camera on me. And she says, oh, I'm not ready. I have to do a little bit more makeup for the pictures. So just take a little walk. And it was near ocean. We were building, scaffolding in the ocean. And I turned into the ocean. I'm like, I'm gonna just take a walk in the ocean. And I turned and I noticed it was like a dusk time or dawn. It was like a not very bright, murky type of light. And I noticed these huge monsters slowly moving in the water, where it's like shallow still, but in the water, moving, walking across. And they look like a ginormous dinosaurs, a huge one, and then a smaller one, for some reason, was on top. Maybe it was a male, female, I don't know. And so I zoomed with the camera and I see this amazing creatures, and I have that feeling of awe, wonder, and it's not like fear, but it's like this huge awe, like the power that's before me is undescribable. And then there was some people on the beach, and they noticed that monster too, not monster, but that beast, like a reptilian dinosaur, not a mammal. And they got all excited and they start to jump around, trying to attract the attention, throw rocks at it, trying to get some reaction, trying to just being curious, trying to get the reaction out of this somehow. And I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? So stupid, and it's dangerous. So the animal walks and doesn't really pay attention too much, and then people gonna getting more and more aggressive. And now they swimming there and they start trying to climb and yell, and then the animals start to get a little bit more aggravated and trying to shake these people off. And then the people calling their phone, taking selfies, calling their friends, come, oh my God, there's a huge beast here in the water walking. It's like prehistoric. You're gonna check it out. And there's massive amounts of people come and start to almost attack this animal. And the animal gets now so agitated, it starts to rip them apart, start to rapture them apart. The limbs are flying, the blood is everywhere. And people, they're not so much, some in panic, but they're in some kind of ecstatic delusion of this wild entertainment that they're craving almost. And so they're literally engaging in this bloody battle with this beast. And I see the girls in bikinis, and it's like in the rock concerts, some people lose their mind. And now the beast is so uncontrollable. It now comes from the water to the sand and just rips everybody apart. And people, instead of running around, people are running around, and it's always panic. And I have such a fear. I start to feel that panic, and I retrieve back to these buildings where my friend Kelly is supposed to be, and she's just la la, doing her nails, doesn't really, completely oblivious of what's happening. And I'm like, Kelly, my gosh, and let's run. And she's all of a sudden disappears completely. And then I run to the building trying to hide because I'm like, I'm all shaking inside. And I look still and I see now military come with all their weapons of destruction to destroy these animals. But these animals are so powerful. I'm not sure if they can do anything with them. And all of a sudden I end up on a boat and I see all these bodies without, heads and without the, just ripped. It's so graphic. It was like, and then I woke up. And so what I realized about this dream is that I was shown a deeper level of the animal within us, which is not a mammal anymore. It's not this emotional mammal that can be tamed, but it's a reptile that cannot be tamed. Reptiles are vibrational beings. They're not, they cannot be really controlled. And so that beast, that nature is within us still. However, people, when they are not connected with it and they're not respectful to it and they're not utilizing this power in the positive, they're getting destroyed by it. For example, these guys who without helmet, without any protection, riding on the highway on a motorcycle really fast, doing this in the traffic. And I'm like, this guy is pretty much a corpse or a handicapped already. Because it's very dangerous. And what drives these people, I think, is this subliminal, absolutely unconscious power of that beast within, which is they don't know how to harness, how to be with, and it just goes out of the, it just goes out of control, and usually it's triggered by strong emotions like anger towards yourself, all these deeper emotions now that in our lower chakras that drives us completely to make something that's completely unconscious. And so it's this nature in us, it's this beast that comes up when it gets really aggravated. And we as people keep attacking ourselves, and eventually with our thoughts about ourselves and negative thoughts, and eventually that beast is so aggravated start to rip you apart and causing death and destruction within yourself and in your life. And so I didn't expect going to that level, because in my previous video I used a bear and a woman hugging a bear. That's a little bit of a higher level of an animal in higher evolution. But this primordial power in us, this is where the true healing, invincible healing, lies. If you're familiar with the breathing methods of Wim Hof, he talks about it, and actually I am talking about it in one of my videos, how through breath you can access your human brain and mammalian brain and then reptilian brain, which is the deepest, the most ancient brain, and this what controls immune system. And so in times of these pandemics, it's very important to harness that healing power of your immune system, that very ancient survival powers of your own body, that invincible strength. Like even a military coming with all his weapons couldn't do anything to that beast. It's truly really powerful. Beyond what you can understand with your human mind. Like you can only feel it. Like I felt it in my dream. And And you can too. When you really start to look within and connect, you will be in awe before your own powers. And another thing I remembered about specifically reptiles is that when I meditate, why I say that they're vibrational. When I meditate using my Find Yourself method, where you raise your energy along the chakras, it's basically based on Kundalini yoga, but I channel that practice. It's unique. It's not necessarily Kundalini yoga as it's taught in traditional schools. This whole method just came to me because I asked and it was given. And it's very, very profound. I have a class on my website, anyadeva.com, if you're interested to learn that amazing advanced meditation tool and access your supernatural abilities, basically, activating the God in you. So when I do this practice, I sit. I used to meditate in the Florida, in the woods, in the shrubs, along the nature, and there's always snakes would come. These black snakes would come around me, and they would just be around me, and I would sit. And sometimes I open the eyes, and several times it happens when I see a snake right in front of me, staring at me like this, lifted, elevated, and just looking at me. And I open my eyes in meditation, I see a snake, and of course I do this, and the snake gets scared and runs. Also lizards come. These big lizards. They come and they sit right in front of me as I meditate and just hang out there. And they're scary looking, their energy. Even they're small, but it's that reptilian energy with them. It's that dinosaur energy within them. And they're a little bit like, I'm like, what do you want? I mean, hi, you're gonna eat me? So, but I understand that means that I'm in vibrational alignment with the earth. Because they're creepers, they're on the earth. They're also consciousness of the earth, just like us people, but they're very connected to it. And they're extremely sensitive to vibrations. And so, when they come, it means that I am vibrationally aligned not only to my higher, but also to my lower chakras, to the consciousness of the earth itself. And we as people, being the evolving consciousness of this earth, it's really precious to have that awareness and that connection with the mother. Also, Sadhguru, you're probably familiar with this great Indian mystic and teacher. He talks about how a cobra always comes to him, and in some videos, he plays with cobras, and he says, well, when you're really in deep peace with yourself, the cobras they don't bite you. They're these powerful poisonous snakes, but they just want to be with you because you feel good to them, because you vibrate also like them, like you're in a good balance with that energy. And he has a whole video about it, how he was trying to chase that cobra away during the puja, and the cobra keeps coming back through the crowds and everything, makes their way back to him. Also God Shiva, he says, wearing the snake on the neck, the cobra would never leave him because he's so aligned with, he is the god of Tantra. He's so aligned with this lower, most primordial vibration within himself. And another thing, I don't know if you're familiar with works of Matias de Stefano, this Argentinian guy who started to remember all his incarnations on Earth, in Atlantis. He has the whole series on Gaia. It's called Initiation. And so one of the spiritual rites or tests for the priestess or priest in Atlantis was to float at night, to float in a lake full of alligators or crocodiles, whatever lives there. But this very primitive animals who are not so primitive. And I'm like, wow, it's interesting, it's pretty wild. And now I understand that unless you're completely vibrationally aligned, these alligators will not touch you. They won't see you as food. And that was pretty critical test to be in alignment, right? And another reptile that I didn't even mention is the Kundalini snake within us, that primordial power. And today I think I understood more about the nature of that phenomenon. Anyways, there's a video on my channel. It's called Access Your Reptilian and Superhuman Brain, and it's a breathing technique similar to what Wim Hof teaching, where you access your human brain. Through human brain, you bring your attention to the mammalian and the reptilian with this intense breathing. And this helps you to activate your immune system. It's very healing for your immune system and for your body health, but also it helps you to access that power of the beast that's within you, which we rarely use. Most humans are here all the time with thinking. We're in a human brain. Our emotions we process in our mammalian, but we rarely access our reptilian, and it gets, forgotten. And we do not use the power that we have within ourselves. And that power is phenomenal. It's the most ancient part of us. It's most developed. We're still learning how to use our emotions. We're still learning how to be humans and superhumans, but that's a cornerstone in being an animal. Anyways, if you like this video, please click like, subscribe. You can find me on Instagram. I post lots of interesting supernatural and natural material as a healer and a mystic. My Facebook is Anya Deva, TikTok Anya Deva, but Instagram is where I post lots of stuff. So nice to see you again, and I'll see you again. Bye.